Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It is time to get into everything that has happened in the day with AMC as well as the broad markets. Now, Netflix earnings are not out, but we will bring you guys that as soon as we get the numbers, because I think Netflix can be big for the broad markets. And we've seen recently when big tech, specifically your Apples, your Amazons, your Teslas, Nvidias, when they go down, AMC tends to go higher. And I think this is because collateral and residual effects from that. So I think it could be important for AMC. Now, we're going to dive straight into this video with this. It's the option activity for AMC stock. But before we do that, if you guys want access to all of my trades in real time, link down below in the description of this video. So right here, I think this is interesting because the $5 strike is seeing a decent amount of puts here, almost a 1-to-1 ratio, 15,000 puts on, calls on the day, and 23,000 puts on the day. The $4 strike is seeing 33,000 puts on the day and about 2,000 calls on the day. But look at this, the out the money calls are seeing a lot of activity. Like, take a look at the $5.50 call, 21,000 or strike, $5.50 strike, 21,000 calls, 3,000 puts. $6 strike, 21,000 calls, 3,000 puts. The $10 strike, 13,000 calls and 6,000 puts. And if you go out here to like the $7 put, 4,000 calls and 1.4 thousand puts. And basically, you know, this whole option chain, besides a couple strikes today, are dominated by the calls. And I do think that is a overall bullish thing. But if you look at the total option activity for the day, about 200,000 options have been placed. Total open interest on AMC, get this, is 4.74 million. And you are looking at 94,000, almost 95,000 calls placed on the day and 106,000 puts placed on the day. Pretty neutral overall. And if we take a look at AMC's chart, you're actually holding up this bullish uptrend. Yeah, today you're down about 2.6%. I think you could contribute a lot of it to Apple going higher and some of your large tech, even Netflix. They're going to report earnings here and after hours. Like I said, they're going higher today. And you've typically seen when those stocks go higher, AMC does move lower. So nothing too crazy out of the norm here. But coming, tomorrow, if Netflix earnings are bad, that could really send AMC up to test this 50 and the 100-day moving averages yet again. Now, let's go ahead and get into kind of what happened on the day. And you had some Fed speakers. Now, Fed Bostic says he sees one more quarter-point rate hike, then a hold for quite some time. Now, this is bad for the hedge funds that are hoping for Fed rate cuts and Fed accommodation, because, that's what the market valuation has been propped up on. That's what the collateral behind AMC short positions is being propped up on. It's not earnings growth in 2023. Nobody's expecting earnings growth for Q1 or Q2 for 2023. You're expecting like 6 to 10% negative numbers year over year. Not looking good so far, right? And that means it's all been multiple expansion based off of these implied Fed rate cuts. Fed Bostic does not see that happen. Now, Fed Bullard, he came out earlier in the day today, like right as the markets were opening for regular trading, and said he still sees a restrictive monetary policy at 5.5 to 5.75%. So you're getting some disagreement from Fed members. Bullard wants to take it higher. Fed Bostic and a lot of the Fed members in their summary of economic projections were around 5.25%. That would be one more rate hike. But you're not getting rate cuts anytime soon. And I think that will come back to haunt the markets because that's what the valuation is propped up on. Simple here. The valuation of the markets is propped up on Fed rate cuts. If you get Fed rate cuts, well, the economy is going to be taking a hit. Earnings are going to be taking a hit. And if you don't, well, liquidity is going to get stretched even more over time as the federal funds rate is over 5%. So keep that in mind. Now, if we take a look at AMC, there's really nothing on the day. There's no news or anything to get into. But I do think you're likely setting up for a pretty big rally coming here shortly. And we will elaborate on that a lot more in the next video that does come out, because I would ramble. I mean, this video would be like 35 minutes long to go over everything. But long story short, cost to borrow rates are still in the 200% range. And just the mathematics on this alone, when you look the official reports, right? Look right here, where the short interest has really started to ramp up from January, early January, through where we are now. Short interest has went from about 22% to 27%. What has happened with cost to borrow rates in this same time? They have went from 100% back here, roughly 100%, 200% in January, ramped up to about 500, 600, 700, 800% in this time period. And then by the end of March, you were at 1,000% when this cost to borrow really jumped from March 31st or March 15th through March 31st. You were at about 1,000%. So you have seen these cost to borrow rates spike exponentially, and these shorts have been paying these fees. Now, there's only so long you can even hold on to your short position to be profitable on this whole entire arbitrage trade. Like, the mathematics here do not support short staying in their short positions. Maybe they're just not smart enough to realize that. But ultimately, I think that ends in a massive rally very shortly with AMC. Now, if you take a look, we're still on the threshold securities list. If you guys did not see the numbers, we'll go ahead and go over them and refresh this, see if anything changed. And the closeout date, the T+35 settlement date, that's what I really like to look at. And then the failure to deliver number, obviously. So today is April 18th. You're looking at about 2.7 million FTDs that did come due today. And so these were FTDs of 35 days ago. Tomorrow, you're going to get 2.6 million FTDs that come due. On Thursday, you're going to get 2.3 million FTDs that come due. And on Friday, you're going to get 6.3 million FTDs that come due. And it's no surprise that when you see the highest number of FTDs, it's on the higher option expirations, right? For this Friday, that's where you're going to see the 6.3 million FTDs that come due. And what do you know? If you look at Stonko Tracker, you're getting a lot of option activity. About 60,000 calls in the money currently. Out the money calls at 415,000. In the money puts at 206,000. And out the money puts at 655,000. Seeing a lot of option activity. So that's another reason why I think the stock very well could rally here, because you're going to start to get a little bit more jumpiness heading into next week's court date, because everyone thinks this is a set in stone, AMC is converting with APE, April 27th, it's probably going to happen the week after that. That's hedge funds logic. We know at the very minimum, at least we know that it's going to take a period of around 60 days for any commenting on any proposals before anything happens. I don't think hedge funds are still seeing it that way. Now, as far as the live short interest of free float, that is sitting at 26.21%, 135.36 million shares that are currently sold short. Cost to borrow average 336.59%, cost to borrow max 366.1%, cost to borrow minimum at 2.32%. Interactive Brokers short availability has about 500,000 shares available with a cost to borrow rate of about 211% right now. Let's look at the option activity for this Friday. 35.5% of the open interest is calls, 64.47% is puts. And if you take a look at April 28th, you're getting this call number going up even more today, now at 23.63%. Put open interest at 76.37%. So you are getting a little bit more bullish positioning, call it, but not even close to being at a neutral level, or being reasonable, really. So that is really what you have for the day. That's what you guys need to know. Netflix earnings gonna be the big thing coming right around the corner in the next half hour or so. That could really move the markets, could really move AMC, and we will bring you guys the latest on that. And also stay tuned for the next video coming out later today about AMC and why I personally think the stock is about to go parabolic, and the moves that I might make in the next couple of days or so. So that is it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. If you guys want to come trade with me live in real time as well, link down below in the description of this video. Most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.